Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexualized, sharing my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bowman, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book. So to get on with tonight's episode then, tonight's episode is all about what to do if you're grieving for a past love interest. So if you follow my channel, you will know that in the last couple of weeks, I had to leave a situation in which I really, really liked a British guy. And it was painful, like, to leave that situation. Like, we're still friends in terms of connection on Facebook, but I had to stop talking to the person because they were really interested in me romantically, and then things, I guess, didn't turn out like I thought maybe they could have done. And so, you know, that was very difficult, but I had to walk away because the situation was that the person was acting like they were in a relationship with me when they weren't. And, you know, you can't be having that type of friends with no sexual benefits, but still friends with benefits in that way, if you know what I mean. You know, it's not healthy to stay in a situation where you really, really like the person so much romantically, and they say they like you romantically, and then but they're not willing to commit or give you any hope of ever being in a relationship with them in the future. And, you know, when you're specifically met on an asexual dating site especially, and you know, you're looking for an asexual relationship, you know, it's just, you can't have that scenario. If you really, really, you know, emotionally attached to the person, romantically invested in them, you have to walk away for your own kind of sake, you know. And so, you know, this particular person I haven't spoken to since I left a message in messenger form tonight to say that, you know, I just can't speak to you at the moment because I'm still grieving, I'm still getting over you. You know, I appreciate they don't want a relationship with me, which is fine. But, you know, I'm still grieving. I still got to get over that person. Now, with me personally, I don't just get over someone like that as a hyper romantic. Once I become emotionally attached to someone, it's kind of really difficult to break that. Because I felt like I had this amazing connection with them, I still feel like I'm connected to them, like in a spiritual romantic way. And so I kind of know when they're online and stuff like that, and I can feel their pain as well still and things like that. So it's kind of like really difficult, you know. So what can you do if you're grieving for a past love interest? What you can do, first of all, number one, is to acknowledge that you're still grieving. You know, the worst thing you could do is try and bottle it up and pretend like nothing's happened and just like deny yourself the truth. Yeah, because denying yourself the grieving process and feeling grief or just prolong the agony. So when I say grief, you know, like when you're letting go of a love interest that your romantic interest that you were really invested in, a lot of time, energy and effort in that person, then, you know, it does feel like a loss, you know, even if you do decide to still stay connected to them. Like, I usually sometimes would advise you to completely disconnect and block a person, but this person isn't a horrible person. We were friends before. You know, I know they're a good person, they've got a beautiful heart and soul, and so, you know, I don't really think in this case it's warranted. I mean, obviously I could have like disconnected from them as a friend and, you know, never spoke to them again ever, but in this situation I don't feel that's quite right, especially not at the moment. I just feel that it's just circumstances, it's just not led to what I want it to lead to. And so I just think in these circumstances, you know, the person's not a horrible person. They've got their beautiful soul and heart. You know, that's what makes it so difficult. So it's best for me to like not speak to them at the moment, because it's really difficult for me, you know. And so yeah, so first is acknowledging that you're grieving, you know, allow time to happen, you know, like you could take like weeks or months or years to get over someone sometimes, you know. And with me, I don't just give up feelings like that. And it usually takes me 8 months before I can put them in a more friend zone type thing. And that's a long time, you know. And I feel I'm still connected. They might not be feel like they're connected to me anymore, but I still feel that with them, you know. I'm very intuitive, very soul driven, and I can feel someone, you know, feel when someone's having pain, and I can feel someone and tell when someone's doing something sometimes if I'm really connected to them, you know. And obviously, you know, you've got to at some point be able to disconnect from that person, you know. I guess I've got to let them go, but sometimes when you're grieving, it's a while before you can let them go, and you have to like take your time on that. You can't deny yourself the truth, you know. You can't pretend that it didn't happen, or you know, that it's not real, because that's just not healthy. You have to kind of work through it and be able to calm things down and come to terms with the fact that you won't ever be in a relationship together, and you could only maybe be friends in the future, but it'd be very difficult to be just friends with that person, because I know as soon as I saw them again, the feelings would just be there, regardless of if I get rid of them or not. They're with me, they won't properly get rid of, not unless I found someone else that was much better, right, for person to be in a relationship with. So, you know, one is don't deny it, the grieving process, you know, and two is to take your time with it. You know, we've all got our own time that we need to grieve, and it's okay if you take different amounts of time. But you must, you know, three, if you must have no contact as much as possible, you know, because you can't be in that situation. It's too emotionally vulnerable for you. It's too draining and too pulling on you, and you end up just putting yourself back into the same situation that you were before, and you don't want that. It's not very nice. So you have to just like pull back from them. I mean, they don't get the privilege of being acting like they're in a relationship with you when they're not. They don't get that kind of privilege anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a privilege for someone to be able to experience being in a relationship with you, even if they've not said officially that they were. Do you know what I mean? Thanks for the thumbs up. Lots of love. So, you know, it's a good idea to just, you know, not give them that privilege. You know, you shouldn't give someone what they want when they're not giving anything back to you about what you want and need. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, JM, oh, thank you so much for the beautiful heart. I really appreciate that. It's really sweet. Thank you. And so, you know, you've just got to give yourself time and make sure that, you know, you don't like be in that situation where it's a friends with asexual benefits, you know. It's just not good for you. So, you know, if that person will understand, sometimes you can be friends with that person again, sometimes you just can't go back to the same type of friendship you ever had because things change in the dynamic, you know. So you know, if you can't make that decision, then you just have to park that for the future, you know. And then you have to realize that at some point you're going to have to detach and unhook yourself emotionally from the person as much as possible. And, you know, at one point you might naturally do it because you might stop putting them on a pedestal, because when we kind of like really romantic feelings for someone, we kind of put them on a pedestal. We see like a lot of good in them, and all this is really good, and even if something wasn't quite good, your brain can like make out that it was better than it was. And so like, you know, like I can remember like loads of good stuff about them. We're like, and the thing is, when you're piling good stuff and more good stuff about the person, yeah, it's nice for them, and you know, if they're a nice person, a good person, that's fine, but it's not going to help you. You kind of have to stack the evidence against, you know, what was actually going on, and look at the truth and realize that, you know, all the things that wouldn't have been good if I got into a relationship with this person, things that didn't feel good, things that weren't right, And so when my mindset will shift from kind of thinking what I lost and thinking about the good things, if I switch my mind more to what, what the true reality was and the way it made me feel, and that obviously, like, I need to be the love of someone's life. I need to feel special, wanted, needed, and that's what we all deserve. I deserve a really good guy for me, someone who's not going to question their feelings for me, someone who's going to be in tune with my emotions, someone who's going to want to spend lots of time with me. I'm not going to have to ask him, and and he's just going to like understand me, and who give me all the love, care, and attention I need in a healthy way, And I think that's what you have to do. You have to understand that if this person let you go so easily right now, like, what would it have been like down the line? Just imagine if I'd invested a lot more months with this person romantically, and a lot of more time, energy, and effort. And they when they gave me no hope for the future, there's no point. I actually did myself a huge favour by asking them questions that were hard questions at the beginning. Well, when we're at the beginning of getting deeper with each other, and realising that they could never give me what I want. I wasn't heading anywhere. You can't have a scenario where you're not going to go anywhere in this potential relationship. It's just gonna end up like it did. It's better to end it sooner rather than later, whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't stop you feeling, doesn't stop you caring about the person. When I care about the person, I care about them deeply. My emotions aren't artificial. My feelings aren't artificial. They're not like something I can turn on and off like a tap. Do you know what I mean? And so, it'd be great if you could, couldn't it? Like, oh, don't like him anymore, let's turn that tap off. Right, here we go. Or he's no good for me, turn the tap off. It'd be brilliant if it worked like that in reality, but we and you both know that it doesn't work like that all the time, But when I focus on other things, which is what you should do, you should focus on your friends, your hobbies, your interests, what fills your cup up, what makes you feel absolutely awesome and special. Those are the things that are going to help you rebuild your life after this devastation with this person of not being the right person for you, And at the end of the day, that person's done you a favour. You have to understand that they've done you a favour by showing you that they're not the one for you to be in a long-term committed relationship, because they couldn't give you that. Just imagine if I'd have gone on for many more months with that person, having hope that they liked me so much that they come down and see me and want to be in a relationship with me. It wouldn't have been any good, would it? You should never be having to worry about something like that. Someone should naturally want to love you, to be with you, to kiss you, to cuddle you, to see you as much as possible, to talk to you at every available opportunity. They should be really into you. They should be really digging you. They should be really besotted with you in a nice, blimmin' awesome, gorgeous way, healthy way. And so clearly I haven't found the right person. Part of my brain still defaults back to, oh, maybe it could go well with that person if that happened and that happened. And, this is my kind of brain trying to rationalize everything out that's in an irrational way. And, like, maybe years later, things will change. Maybe things will be different. It's like, well, no, he's a non-mover. You know what I mean? So it's never going to change, is it? Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you should never, ever, ever wait around for someone who doesn't deserve your love, because at the end of the day, they can't commit, they can't give you any hope. Then, like I said, this person's not a bad person. It's just they obviously don't want to commit to me in a relationship, and that's fine. I appreciate I've found out now sooner rather than later, but it does hurt, when someone said they've had a special connection with you, they've never felt this way before, and you feel like you're the one for them because they're indicating you are, then, it is a devastating blow, and so I just have to grieve. And, if you're in the same position, you have to grieve, you have to kind of let your emotions out, you have to kind of let it go on. So the last thing you want to do is go to someone else and end up as a rebound relationship. Do you know what I mean? That's not healthy for you. It's better just to realise that you're grieving and to try and focus on other things in life. And I strongly urge and encourage that, whatever your most deepest desires, passions, needs, wants, love of your life in other ways are, then go towards that, go towards the light, go towards people who, you know, your best friends and stuff, who really care about you for you, who really will show you, give you all the love that that person couldn't give you, you know. And obviously you should love yourself, but sometimes you just feel like you want some love from someone else, don't you? And even if it's not romantic nature and it's just friendship, it can be really amazing, you know. So I think it's really important. You know, it's really weird because I've got this eye that's like really, like you can see it's all puffy around there. So it's like all swollen up. And when I used to think about this person, I used to like start having tear down this eye. It's like involuntary tears. But I don't know if this is because of the hand wash, because we're having to wash our hands to not get viruses at the moment, and this is affecting this eye, or whether it's actually to do with the fact that I'm still grieving, and subconsciously this grief is manifesting itself in my body as like, you know, red rashes coming up and reacting, you know. Like love and romance and feelings and emotions and intense emotional attraction is just like, it can like have an effect on your body, you know. But I know that I deserve a good guy for me. And, you know, what you do have to do when you're grieving is just say to yourself, you know I deserve a good person for me. In my case, a guy. I know I deserve a good guy for me. I know I deserve someone to love me and to kiss me and to cuddle me and to want to spend all his time with me in between his own life passions and his work, and to, you know, to look forward to seeing me just smile every time I video chat or audio call with him, and to just love kissing me and love just me and not want any other woman, and be totally dedicated to me and be really excited to see me. And, you know Sandra is his girl and the only one for him. You know, that's the position that I need to think of. That's the type of person that I need to be thinking of. I need to be thinking of the ideal relationship. And so you need to, when you're grieving, like focus on what you actually really do want. Focus on the fact that you're now free for loads and loads of other people to come your way. That person's decided, they missed their opportunity, they let you go. That's up to them. And maybe you're not the opportunity for them, and you just got to move on and realize that there are plenty of other people out there, and there'll be someone who can love you and give you all the care, time and attention you need, and who will literally be there for you through thick and thin. You will realize that a deeply committed, loving, caring relationship is what they want. It's the foundation of how they're built. And once you've got someone who wants the same desire and drive as you and the same ambition to do with relationships, it's incredible. You know, that's what I need. I need a guy who will literally make one of his life ambitions to be in a loving, long-term, serious, committed, forever relationship, you know, because when you've got someone who's got that goal, they're going to drive towards it. They're going to be obsessed about getting that in a healthy way till they've got it. Do you know what I mean? You want someone who's kind of like obsessed with you in a good way, or with shared goals, ambitions, hopes and dreams, you know. So when you're grieving, just remember that to look for the light and to look for the person that you would be better suited to, the type of relationship you really want to be really lovely for you. You know, I want someone who doesn't doubt things, who can give me all the love, care and attention I need and want and like, and I can do the same for them. And, you know, I've got so much love to give the right guy, and I think that's what's difficult as well. I think when a new guy comes along in my life that I feel emotionally connected to, I feel I kind of want to like pour some love in his way and really make him see how beautiful he is. But, you know, like when you do that, you've got to remember that you could be giving your personal power away if you're investing too much emotions in them and not enough in yourself. So it's really important to love yourself and to keep saying to yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you, and make yourself really happy and start smiling and keep smiling, because you are beautiful and you're worth it, you know. You have to value your worth enough to walk away, which is what I did. And you have to rebuild your life without this person in it, especially if they kind of was in your life daily a lot of times, you know. And you have to just realize that this person walked away so they can make way for the guy or person who is right for you. They've done you a huge, huge favour. They basically say, I'm not good enough for you. I'm not strong enough for you. I can't be with you. So you need to find someone else, and then that's it. If they get jealous later on then because they see you with someone else, that's not your problem at the end of the day. Where they think, oh, that should have been me. It's like, well, they didn't act on that. Do you know what I mean? So you've just got to remember that grief is a process like anything else. It's to do with loss. And it's okay if you feel lost on this thing. It's okay. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. I know it's been a bit more of a sad tone one, but I've got some really, really exciting news coming on the next live stream. I can't wait. I'm really super excited. I've had some great personal news. Can't wait. Anyway, until the next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up already. Lots of love. Bye.